Who do we think is going to take the NFC? Let's switch over. Switch conferences. We had one amazing game in the Rams versus the Bears, and then one just complete blowout with Seattle. How do you see that shaking out? Because Seattle just looks like unbeatable on defense. The way they swarm to the ball, they're good at every level. It's absurd.
Yeah, Seattle's defense is incredible. And, I'd say probably the back half of the season, I was fortunate to have a couple Seattle games, couple Rams games, had the Rams first round in the playoffs. So, we had enough time kind of taking them in and kind of getting a picture of what they look like. And I thought going into the playoffs, the Rams and the Seahawks were the best two teams in either side, in either the AFC or the NFC side of the playoffs. I think they were the most balanced. I think they had the quarterback play, the offense's ability to score points, and then obviously being very good on defense. That Seattle defense, to me, is how every defense in the league would want to be created, right? They're little. They manage the game up front. They're going to play with 5 or 6 DBs the entire game. They've got a lot of positionless hybrid type second and third level players. They keep a lid on it. They play fast. They play in space. But then you still can't run the ball. Like you're saying, we got all these light boxes and they're in nickel, they're in dime. We're just going to beat them up. And you can't gain a yard. They're really physical up front. They've got good run and chase players at the second level. And I think Mike McDonald's is the defensive equivalent of McVay on offense. So
yeah,
I think Seattle's probably the most well-rounded team in the league. I felt that way kind of down the stretch. I feel even more so about that going into this weekend's game. I love McVay. I think McVay is very unique. I think he's incredible. Stafford's probably going to be the MVP. Of all the NFC matchups, it's probably the best matchup. If you could have picked before the playoffs, all right, who do we want playing in Seattle?
100%, yeah.
I think the last time they played, it was damn fireworks. It was incredible. So that's the game I'm most looking forward to. And I think it's clearly the best two teams for sure in the NFC. But if not, I think in a lot of ways they're the best two teams in the entire playoffs.
I'm right there with you. Obviously, the Seattle, we just talked about that defense, how they fly around, the energy that team plays with.
Yeah.
It feels like they got a lot of young guys that just love to fucking play ball, and they have this camaraderie. And those teams with the juice, man, it just feels like those teams find ways to win at the end. And it goes back to what you were saying, how the Rams and Seahawks played their last game was a fucking insane, crazy ending to the game. And you could just see it was like stars were coming out of both of this Seattle team of when they made plays. AJ Barner, our tight end, our fellow tight end over there in Seattle, man. One of my favorite guys, a young guy, a swag champ kind of guy that just come out, kind of brings everyone together. They have guys like that on the offensive side, defensive side. And I just think that team right now is going to be so fucking difficult to beat, especially when you got Walker running for how aggressive and hitting the second level with speed, man. That's going to be a fucking tough team to beat. And the Rams snuck by the Bears, dude. That game was a fun game to watch. An old Soldier Field, baby. A familiar place that Greg. And when that place is fucking rocking, man, it is a different type of energy, man. I got to see one of Jason's games, the double doink, man. Shout out to Nags, love Nags. But I got to see the double doink when Jason was playing over there in Chicago. And it's a different type of atmosphere when the Bears are fucking in it, man. When the Bears have a fucking chance, and right now they have one of the best and most exciting quarterbacks in the league, young, and you're starting to see these unbelievable plays kind of unfold. His ability to make this magic that he had in college is starting to get comfortable in the NFL, and he's starting to make these crazy plays. That fourth down and forever throwing it to our guy Cole Kmet, man. Shout out to tight ends everywhere right now making plays. Cole Kmet, man, that was one of the craziest fucking plays I've ever seen in my life, and I still get chills watching all the different camera angles from the stands. And I'm just happy for Chicago to finally get something that they can go out there and fucking cheer for, man.
I'm not sure if there's a cooler city in the country when their team is good than Chicago. And I was fortunate. I got there when I got drafted there, it was on right off Super Bowl loss. They lost to Indianapolis. A couple months later, I got drafted there. It took us a couple years. We didn't make the playoffs. And my fourth year, we made the playoffs. We ended up hosting the Packers in the NFC Championship game. It turned out to be my last game. I got traded that next offseason to Carolina. But, man, I got to see it firsthand. It's snowing, the crowd, the city, the stadium is in the heart of the city, which is very unique. And, you don't see that a lot anymore with where they're built. It's a city that just loves their sports. They love the Bears. They've had a history of all, between the Cubs and the White Sox and the Bulls and the Blackhawks. They've had a lot of success, but man, they want the Bears to win again. It is a Bears city, and football rules is right. So it was cool. I mean, watching that game in the snow, Caleb backpedaling, throwing a 17-yard pass, 50 yards in the air. It felt like that ball was in the air for 3 days. And when he threw it, everyone was like, oh my God, that's what the end of the season came down to. It was like a punt. And then sure as shit, Cole Kmet's wide open.
Right in the old breadbasket.
Man, I thought they were going to go for 2. Ben Johnson had been so aggressive in the playoffs, going for it on 4th down, did it against Green Bay in the wild card round, going for it on 4th, continuing to push the envelope, and then had a chance there. I thought he was going to go for 2, elected to go to overtime. And with these new overtime rules, and you can debate how you handle it, but man, that was a heartbreaking way for Chicago's season. But the Rams have won both games that way. I was there in Carolina calling that game when it looked like Carolina took the lead with 2 minutes, and they looked like they were going to win. And Stafford makes plays, and McVay pulls plays out of his ass and puts it all together where they have to. He's so talented and so unique. But man, tight ends, but you're right. Tight ends all over the world. There's a lot going on here. Tight ends galore. What the Rams are doing with their dudes. It's a fun time to be an NFL fan. It's a fun time to just sit back as just a casual observer and just take in exciting. I wouldn't say good football. There's a lot of bad football going on, but man, it is fun football. And these last couple weeks of the playoffs have been awesome.
Get me fired up for this round, baby. Let's fucking go. Yeah, so we got Rams, Seahawks. We talked about it a little bit, but it just feels like that's going to be the game that the team that goes on is going to win the Super Bowl, man. It just feels like both those teams, the Rams having that veteran presence that we've done it before. We've got the guys, and then the Seahawks of like this new magic and Sam Darnold playing his tail off and the run game and the excitement and the juice. It just feels like right now the NFC is cooking, man.
That's kind of how I view it. And I think it does run. And then obviously it complicates things now with Denver's chances and all the stuff we've talked about. So fascinating Final Four. Maybe not the Final Four everyone would have imagined for sure when the season started. But maybe not even down the last couple of weeks. So that's what makes the NFL king. And one game series, man, are so challenging. And, you guys have been on the good and the bad. I've been on more of the bad than the good come postseason. But those one game series, man, they'll get you.
They will, man. It's what makes football the fucking best, baby. A little championship week.